You ever hear the story of the unbreakable vase? Centuries ago, in a distant land, there was a master craftsman known for creating vases so strong they could withstand anything: fire, storms, even time itself. One day, a young man about to be married approached him. "I want a vase that will last forever," he said, "just like my love." The old craftsman smiled and handed him a delicate-looking vase. "This is the strongest vase I have ever made." The young man frowned. "But it looks fragile. What if it breaks?" The craftsman's eyes twinkled. "That depends on you," he said. "If you handle it with care, with respect, with understanding, it will never break. But if you neglect it, take it for granted, or test its limits, even the strongest vase will shatter." And in that moment, the young man understood. Because love, real, lasting love, is not about finding something unbreakable. It's about making the choice every single day to protect what you've built. And that's where most people get it wrong. They think love is about attraction, about that spark, the butterflies, the rush of excitement, and sure, that's a beautiful part of it. But have you ever seen a firework? It's brilliant, it's breathtaking, and in seconds it's gone. Now think of a candle, steady, warm, something that lasts through the darkest nights. That's emotional connection. The difference between a love that burns out and a love that stands the test of time. Because if you've ever felt truly connected to someone, not just physically but emotionally, you know the difference. It's the feeling of being seen, understood, safe. The kind of love that doesn't just make you happy, it makes you whole. But let's be honest, building that kind of love doesn't just happen. It's not luck, it's not fate, it's not something you stumble into. It's something you create. And in a world that glorifies attraction, people forget that attraction alone isn't enough. Passion fades, looks change, life happens. Think about the strongest couples you know. Maybe it's your grandparents, still holding hands after 50 years. Maybe it's that couple who's been together for decades and still light up when they see each other. What do they have that others don't? It's not just chemistry, it's not just passion, it's understanding. Because when life gets hard, and it will, attraction won't hold you together. When the excitement fades, when challenges come, when reality sets in, emotional connection becomes everything. Because when the weight of the world is on your shoulders, you don't need someone who just looks good standing beside you. You need someone who stands beside you, who listens when you're struggling, who sees your fears and loves you anyway. But here's the truth most people won't admit. Real connection requires courage, because most people never build that kind of love. They're too afraid. Afraid to be vulnerable, afraid to be seen, afraid to show the parts of themselves that aren't perfect. But love, real, lasting love, isn't found in perfection. It's found in honesty. And in a world that sells us picture-perfect relationships, where love looks like grand gestures and perfect Instagram moments, it's easy to forget. The strongest love stories aren't written in the big moments. They're written in the quiet ones. The way they remember your coffee order. The way they notice when something's wrong before you even say a word. The way they make you feel safe just by being there. That's what lasts. So if you're in a relationship, ask yourself, are you truly connected, or are you just coexisting? Do you feel safe opening up? Do you trust them with the parts of you no one else sees? Because if you don't, no amount of attraction will save it. And if you're single, stop chasing the spark. Look for the flame. Look for the person who gets you. Someone you can sit in silence with and still feel understood. Because that's the kind of love that lasts. But here's the catch. Deep connections don't just appear. They're built, moment by moment, word by word, choice by choice. And most people say they want a deep connection, but when it comes down to it, they're afraid to take the risk. They keep conversations surface level. They hold back. They protect themselves instead of opening themselves. But love requires risk. It requires trust. It requires the willingness to be seen. Because the right person, they won't leave. They won't run. They won't break what you're trying to build. They'll stay. And when they do, you'll realize something powerful. Love isn't just about who makes your heart race. It's about who makes it feel safe. So if you want a love that lasts, stop chasing attraction and start building connection. Learn to communicate, to listen, to understand, and most of all, be willing to be real. Because in the end, attraction might bring two people together, but only emotional connection will keep them there. And that is the secret to unbreakable love.